Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Thursday, December 28th, and definitely some bitterly cold temperatures out there this morning. Most areas below zero, some areas dropping down to 10 to 15 below zero, and even colder in some of the northern locations in lower Michigan. And again, we'll see very cold conditions right on through the extended period into next week. We may slightly moderate into the teens and maybe even a 20-degree reading as we get into early next week. But I think another shot of very bitterly cold air is heading this way for late next week or next weekend. And there could be a pretty significant clipper system out ahead of that, but we've got plenty of time to watch that. In the meantime, we've got a weak system coming in today that'll bring some scattered snow to the area, especially lake effect areas, but they could see 5 to 10 inches of snow. And they do have winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings along the Lake Michigan shoreline. And for inland areas, anywhere from a trace or a half inch to possibly as much as 2 inches. Again, the best bet of more snow would be the farther west you go. And again, we don't see any temperatures getting out of the teens until at least early next week. And then we may touch 20 maybe a day or two. And then we'll see some bitterly cold air plunging down out of Canada once again. As far as the normals for the day, our normal high is still 30. The normal low is 16. And you can see so far now for December, we are down to 2.5 degrees below normal for the month. And you remember in the first 7 days, we were 11 degrees above normal. So we've certainly turned the tables on, and we knew this would be the case. And we can expect this very cold air to continue at least into the first or second week of January. And then we're watching some indications that could see a pretty strong warm up. But until then, you can see out there this morning at temperatures down 9.7 degrees. That was at 6:30 this morning, but they were down to 14 degrees below zero at Clarksville, over 9 below at Newaygo. Again, all locations down below zero this morning, so very cold out there. And yesterday we had a high Breckenridge of 12, a low of 0, no precipitation. We got 4 inches of snow on the ground, and again 14.6 inches of snow so far for the season. And you can see our well digger freezing out there. You can see the last 3 days. You can see some of the temperatures that we've recorded over the last 3 days. And we'll put this particular spreadsheet out on the main page here later today as we continue to track this cold weather, which is the coldest temperatures we've seen since back in 2000 or 17 years. This is the coldest last week to end December that we've seen again in quite some time. We may go back to the early 1980s before we see anything colder than that. You can see on radar this morning some of that precipitation. Let's go back to that. You can see some of that precipitation that's going to be moving into the area. Again, the heaviest snows will be along Lake Michigan shoreline. On the weather map this morning, this is this disturbance, and it's going to move from the Dakotas very quickly into lower Michigan as we get into tomorrow. If it goes a little farther south, I think that'd give us a little bit better chance of accumulating snows, but the best bet is it moves just off to our north. We get trace of 2 inches inland. And again, significant lake effect snows back across the probably the 2 counties near Lake Michigan up and down it. And again, I would not be surprised to see the winter storm warnings and winter weather advisories extended. And we'll show you that watch map here in a moment. You see, as far as quantitative precipitation over the next 72 hours, mainly around 1/10 of an inch of liquid equivalent, but still at 20 to 31 snowfall ratios. It would be not impossible to see some areas pick up 2 or 3 inches of snow. I think the best bet for the inland areas is about 1 inch, maybe 2. And then again, heavier snows near Lake Michigan where they could see 5 to 10 inches or more of snow along that area. As far as snowfall over the next 72 hours from the WPC, they're showing about 1 to 2 inches across much of the MAC area. Again, heavier amounts once you get downwind of any of the Great Lakes. Again, where we're going to see plenty of snowfall here over the next 3 days. And as far as our forecast goes, you can see very cold temperatures, highs today. And I don't know if we'll hit that 13 degrees, but we could. I think temperatures around 10 degrees will probably be good for highs. And then highs in the teens, a little bit warmer for the weekend. And then we see another cold shot coming in late in the week. Then we warm up just a little bit, I think, as we get into midweek, maybe 20 degrees on Tuesday or Wednesday. And then we're going to watch another strong Arctic front head this way out with a clipper. And again, that'll be for the middle or late part of next week. A lot of time to watch that. And again, lake effect snows 5 to 10 inches. Inland areas really a trace to maybe 2 inches. As far as weather watch this morning, you can see those winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings near Lake Michigan. Again, don't be surprised to see some of the counties to the north and maybe to the south added to at least an advisory. And again, winter weather advisories, you got wind chill advisories for northeastern Minnesota, eastern UP, and in parts of the lower Ohio Valley as well. Thanks for stopping by and have yourself a great day. and 73s to all.